Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another excellent and it's going to be a definitive race for the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup for 2022. I am one of your commentators, Jawesomesauce, here today with Josh Bittner. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm so excited for what we're about to see here. We've got the Go Mode Podcast host and ringleader Timp taking on the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament lead admin Lumaga in a do or die type race here, where the winner goes on to the brackets along with you from Group E.
Yes, that's right. It's winner take all. These two met as their first match out of their in group play, and that was with Timp taking the win. So Lumaga's looking to come back and punch their ticket to the brackets instead this time by getting revenge in the run back.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. Going to have some good stuff here. Good local stuff going on in this community here right now between these folks. So we've got tournament keys. We got about 20 seconds left. Do you want to explain that mode for us real quick?
Sure. Tournament Keys is a special mode of key sanity for this Challenge Cup and main tournament setup, where it's basically going to be like key sanity, except the two keys in Aghanim's towers are going to be vanilla along with the Ganon's tower big key. Otherwise, we're going to just have a regular old key sanity. Hope you know of your key logic and pod and move on from there.
Excellent. As we're going to get started here, we'll see both runners get started here with this. Looks like a different start. One in Sanctuary. Oh, both in Sanctuary.
Yeah, I think we're going to get synced up in a second. But, yep, both starting at Sanctuary, getting $50.
Timp thinking it was open, getting nothing in the map check there, but he's ready for a real one later. Remember, with Key Sanity, you have to find the maps to be able to know whether there's a crystal or a pendant in those dungeons. No free map checks today.
And we see Timp going to check the Lumberjack prize, probably, as we see Lumagas going straight into the woods.
You know, it doesn't really seem like a bad idea to check Lumberjack on a Key Sanity seed, just in case you can, you got extra items possible on the ledge, big key, small key, that sort of thing. Also, Timp was able to get a quick tier 1 pull on a tree. Just see, only got arrows, but you never know. It looks like just 20 rupees there. Was that what you saw?
I thought it was 10 arrows, but regardless, I saw it was trash. So these runners know each other quite well. They have raced against each other quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what their tendencies will be. We see Lumaga going with the save and quit, going straight to Eastern. Or, well, they're gonna... Oh, but there was a hook shot. Where did they pick that one up? I missed that one.
The Link's house says hook shot.
Oh, okay. Oh, he did a save and quit outside of the woods and then bought some bombies and is gonna go, I guess, straight to Saha. Okay.
And meanwhile, we did get a shovel in the forest, so we'll see. That's, always nice to get the shovel on your way through Kakariko Village to save a little time.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I guess they're not gonna go to Saha's. They're just gonna go do the dam and probably mini Moldorm Cave.
Very interesting. Nobody going towards Kakariko Village. Timp left after the forest, I believe, looking for bombs.
Yeah, I was about to say that looked like the bomb hunting, so he didn't want to spend his $50.
And he'll get to do that shovel check too as well, which is a big key.
Well, that only gives you a chest. One of the big keys we kind of sort of don't want to see. You want something a little bit more valuable if you were going to get a key from there. And so, just a boring small Ganon small right there.
You say boring, but like as you describe the mode where the big key to Ganon's tower is in Ganon's tower, as we see a hammer on the race game, that's very nice. You're still gonna need a couple of those small keys out in the world from Ganon's tower, but you'll probably find them pretty good looking for everything else.
Yeah, and you don't really need that many, even if you're doing a full clear of the basement, just because of the pickups that you can get inside of Ganon's tower. Lumaga having a little trouble with that hook shot. It's usually easier to go north-south when trying to tag them with the hook shot. Alright, Timp has his first actual weapon with the hammer, and I guess they will move north to Kakariko finally. Meanwhile, Lumaga not really finding a whole heck of a lot in the mini Moldorm Cave, and I guess they're going to take the long hike over to Ice Rod Cave too to finish up the play.
And just a 20 on the shelf in the library, so we won't be seeing that one today.
Sometimes it can be super scary when you see a small key sitting on the shelf, and that makes you go, uh-oh, what if that's a pod small?
And we now have a map to Eastern Palace and Misery Mire. Again, like we said, once you get the maps in Key Sanity, you can do a map check and you'll be able to see the pendant or crystal prizes. Once you get into the dungeon, you'll also see a little letter P or letter C in the upper left corner to tell you as well. So those maps are actually pretty important, especially early on, to know what your prizes are for those dungeons.
And for those that don't know, there are other ways to suss out what some dungeons can be. You will learn from Sahasrara which dungeon the green pendant will be, as well as from the bomb hut, you'll know what the 5-6 crystals are. We got another map from the chicken hut for Hera. Well, no dark rooms today. There's the lamp. And it's nice to get a small Ice Palace key there, so even if you're doing the Ice Palace bomb jump route, you have the key to go right through the door to the left after the big spike, and you can get to where all the chests are. And there's our first pod small. Ooh, and that's a nice... Well, that's a small key that helps you get towards the big chest and thieves. Not the most helpful small key, but you never know. Something could be in the big chest if we get the big key there, too.
Yeah, especially already having the hammer, too, which is nice.
It almost, tells you that the seed's expecting you to do something.
Yeah, the hookshot's such a great item to have early on. When you don't have boots, you can kind of use it to boost you around, grabbing trees, grabbing fences. Definitely take advantage of that if you've gotten it.
Now we're going to be seeing an escape play from Temp full clear because they did not start at Uncle. I am admittedly a filthy Uncle router, so I would have come here immediately and would have had that potion for my CAC play to turn in for Sick Kid. I'm sure they'll get back to Kakariko a time or 3 in this seat to check it out, though.
And as our Restreamer Amarith points out, Tim's headed to the castle tipped off by the race room name, which was Good Hyrule Castle. So let's see how good the Good Hyrule Castle is today. They'd have to have the small key still to get to the back without the gloves, so it's not going to be a full clear unless we get that Hyrule Castle key. Of course, with the hammer already, maybe that's, a glove's going to pop up for some Dark World progression, so we'll have to see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, you'll expect a Death Warp after getting to Zelda's Cell, and you can at least check out Dark Cross. And that's kind of nice to get knocked out of the way. Ooh, there's flippers, apparently, that were in... just the well, was it? Because Lumaga just got flips. From the bottle vendor, thanks. From our tracker, Jinxie Girl.
As we get a Quake medallion from the boomerang area.
Oh, it was because Timp was too broke to, because they because they didn't have the money for the bottle vendor, so that's why they did not check it. That's rough.
Well, but Timp did get a bottle here off the uncle passage there, so he does have to go back to the village eventually for Sick Kid. So we'll have to see how far out of the route that could do. As we get the Dark Palace big key.
Well, if you wanted to be super spicy with your one pod small and the big key, you could theoretically, if you had a bow, go and kill Helmasaur King. I wouldn't, but not under those circumstances.
You know, but with Keysanity, and you alluded to it earlier about sometimes the seed guides you in a certain direction. You know, if we start seeing a couple more pod keys soon, that might be the direction the seed really wants you to actually go once you get the Dark World. So we'll have to see, especially if the bow shows up soon.
Yeah, and in Keysanity, pod just becomes so incredibly lucrative in terms of item density. You know, you definitely want to eventually make your way there at some point, sooner rather than later.
All right, here we're going to get our Dark Cross check, just some money. But he's got enough to pay the vendor when he gets back to it, at least.
Yeah, because a lot of the early first sphere checks are done now. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah, and Timp hasn't done the South Shore checks yet, so he's going to head down here and do Mini Moldorm Cave and all that. Which is, you know, unfortunate to not have the flippers. Even though Lumaga had already done this area, and obviously without flippers, so it's kind of a net neutral there. But it would have been a nice advantage to be able to have done some flipper checks.
Yeah, because that's going to be your first branch outward from the starting sphere, is checking out, even though we're a bit cash poor to pay the scam, but, you know, there's still, you can check the camper and you can check at least the waterfall cave and see what item is sitting on the ledge. Ooh.
Lumaga going for some hard bomb strats. Probably not remembering the hammer there.
I was about to say the stun prize. It was probably what they were looking for. And okay, so there's our that's our, I keep forgetting the names of these medallions. That's the Quake medallion.
Quake, yep. Just visualize that's the ground shaking.
There we go.
Wave there.
I see Timp is also struggling getting that last mini Moldorm kill, just like Lumaga. They move quite annoying on you, you know?
Lumaga setting himself up for a death warp, taking a few hits on the ball and chain guard there. Being careful not to die. That would be a rough time for that, to miss that Dark Palace big key. But setting it up nice to be able to quickly death warp, go back to Dark Cross for those $20.
At this point, you just want to efficiently full clear areas and not have to double dip anything, because we haven't really gotten anything too exciting yet that can push you to actually get somewhere in the game.
Yeah, so right now it looks like we have Agina's Cave, we've got Saha, of course there could be some things in Eastern, we've got Sick Kid still, and then some of the flipper checks available to our runners.
I'm surprised neither of our runners have checked their map yet, seeing as we have the Eastern Palace map. That could be some info if it wants to, if they should go check that out even without a bow.
Yeah, it can be tough because you still kind of want that big key to clear that chest if you can, but you know, it's still quite a few items anyway, right? And you got the hook shot, but I think Timp's going to make that play. Depends on what Saha's Closet's going to have for him.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, 13 minutes in, you've done the standard start, you've even gone to escape and still got nothing. I mean, this is probably your best play. But we're gonna see Lumaga. Oh, they're gonna start their swimming checks, I guess. There we go. We got ourselves a glove. And of course it's Pendant Pod.
And we did see that there is a small key on Hylia Island, so that those little buggers, where you know, is that going to be important or not? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I mean, at least they have the flippers already, so as soon as they get a mirror, they can claim that. And Timp correctly gonna now check out the mountain, because now you can access at least the mountain in the light world entirely, so tons of checks up here. I'm sure we're gonna find some goodies, as we also see Lumaga head up to the waterfall cave.
Yeah, I think I would have liked to have checked the back of Escape first there. But, you know, hey, this is a good... Either way, you're going to go up here. But, you know, if it's... But, you know, if it was the Moon Pearl or something else, it could have been really... Or, you know, Mirror, something in the back of Escape that's going to cause a double trip. But, you know, going towards where you got to go anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's defensible. I mean, I would be with you in doing a quick 3 check in the back just to lock it in. But I would say, I mean, the odds of getting both the Pearl and the Mitts to be able to do Dark Death Mountain as well are low. So you're probably double dipping this anyway. What's a little scary was Timp didn't go inside for the heal and is hoping that he doesn't get bouldered.
So Flipper Check's not really doing anything so far. There's still the matter of paying Zora 500 rupees for whatever that item could be. But Lumaga looks like he's going to take a nice trip over to Saha's Closet to be able to get that glove as well.
Ooh, I believe we saw a pendant at Hera, so that is interesting. And we see Timp opted to do a save and quit and start back at the mountain versus just yeeting himself down the mountain and continuing on, so I guess he got healed in one way or another.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, chances are when you yeet yourself off that mountain there, you're going to fall right on dead rock and die.
Yeah,
so.
Of course. Or there's a boulder right to the face. We got another map to Desert Palace, so we can identify all of the dungeons in the light world now. We're gonna see now the rest of Paradox. Lumaga opted not to go into Bolus Eastern. And we're gonna see lots of fresh checks right now.
Well, that sword's going to come in handy, of course. Just nice to have as Lumaga pulls it out of the back of Escape.
And Timp gets the Hera small, the Hera big, so they could be poised to go in there, and they can full clear the dungeon. Aside from, oh, they don't have the Hera small key. That's right. So not the basement, which nobody wants to do anyway. And yeah, they could collect a bad pendant if they so choose. Ooh boy, be careful.
Like Lumaga's also going to head to the mountain, but he's going to stop and check Lumberjack to find that 20 rupees here on the ledge for nothing. But it's, you know, if you got a chance to check it, sometimes it's worth just taking a look to make sure, especially in these larger inventory modes like Key Sanity, just to make sure.
Yeah, the idea is when you're efficiently clearing, you know, that this is about as close as you're ever going to get to doing it. So you do it now, or you just never do it and let it kill you.
All right, I think we're good on Ganon's Tower small keys now.
Yeah, having 2 going in is plenty, because you can pick up from pots and other drops.
All right, we got Lumaga helping the old man back to his home, while I think Timp's gonna go check. No, come on, man, go get your sword. No, he's gonna go do some other things.
Yeah, right now there's not a lot of great options. I mean, it's cleaning up probably the bottle.
Yeah, and this will get Timp his flippers from the bottle vendor, which will be good too. So nothing wrong here.
Plus, with his money situation, I mean, well, he'll be at 473 if he wants. He's very close to scam money. Once again, more disappointment.
All right, so in terms of new options that are available, we still have $500 that need to go to Zora for an item. We've got Agina's Cave. You mentioned Eastern being an option for checks, and then Hera now with a few checks there. So that's to see where our runners are going to head next. I know Tim's going to do his flipper checks here. We'll have to see if Lumaga is going to head over to Hera next or not.
I'd honestly, being up here, I mean, I would just beat Hera and see what that gets me at this point. We're running out of things to do. Yeah, while our runners are crossing each other's steps for a little bit, why don't you go give them a follow? They stream often, and they're good people. You should check them out.
I think one of the things that makes Hera even more appealing is they do have the hook shot. So being able to do Hera Pot to skip a little bit of the beginning of the dungeon, drop down quickly, make some more checks, and they can check, like you said, everything except for the time-consuming basement anyway, which they might have skipped as a gamble. So, I mean, those are live, legitimate checks. I guess it's just a matter of walking from the bottom here after Spiral Cave all the way back up, or going on to something that might be a little quicker because, they haven't lost too much time walking away from it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one check is gonna. I mean, if the pearl is what we're starving for. But who knows what we're gonna find first?
I'd love to just see the Eastern Palace big key. So yeah, we got Eastern and Desert, both crystals there on that map check, and confirming that what you saw before with Hera being a pendant.
Yeah, well, Timp finally gonna get a sword. Maybe that would play into part of his lack of desire to do Hera, because maybe he's not too comfortable doing the hammer strats.
Lumaga is gonna go take a look over here at Hera, it appears.
Yeah, I think it's your choice. Do you want to, what would you rather do? Would you rather go into a bowless Eastern or a clearable Hera? Even though it's a bowless crystal Eastern. Both pretty gross.
Yeah. There's the Titan's mitts.
Okay.
Still not the Moon Pearl, but that's going to be really nice once they find this Moon Pearl. It could be in Agina's Cave, which would be really fun for everybody. It could also just be right here.
Yeah, I've been chatting. Okay, there's the Desert Small. All right. I've been chatting with some fine other runners, some of my 2021 Mentor Tourney alumni, and we were talking about how to deal with getting to Agina in Sphere 0, and we're hearing about clears per minute about combining the dam not with Mini Moldorm, but going to Agina after the dam.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of runners that the philosophy for them is if they're gonna collect the drowned treasure, then they're gonna keep heading west to Agina, and they sort of let that decide if they head early.
Meanwhile, we see a nice Philly pot from Lumaga. That was tech discovered by Philistia in last year's Mentor Tournament. And we have a command for the 2022 Mentor Tournament just announced. I'm trying to remember what that was, but if either our tracker or our commentators or Amarith our restreamer can drop that, there it is. Yeah, this is your opportunity once a year to learn from experienced runners to get a lot better at this game yourself. It's a lot of fun. I was a participant last year and learned a lot despite not having a whole heck of a lot of free time to grind and learn, but you'll find a very supportive community of mentors that are willing to teach you and go way out of their way to teach you how to play.
Part of the Mentor tournament also is the experience of streaming for the first time if you've never done it, and being in a nice community to help you out with how to set up your streams, how to do a race from start to finish with all the logistics. So it's really cool, not just playing, but also learning kind of everything around that. As we get both the small key and the big key to Desert Palace here in this dungeon.
That sounds like a bootsless desert play is what's in store for us.
So Josh, JB, the question I have for you, is the Moon Pearl in Agina's cave? Or is it somewhere either in progression through Eastern Palace?
Oof.
Because that's what we got left.
I would shade towards desert because of being able, as we see Timp waiting for the Moldorm King to let him onto the battle platform. That was extremely funny. But no, I would shade to going to desert. Oh, no book. That's right. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, so I think Lumaga's going to go check out Sick Kid. I don't think he's done that yet, so that's probably where he's going here. But then I believe, after Timp and Lumaga have evened out, Lumaga also has to pay Zora, I believe. I think that's another option for him.
Yeah, I think he has to do the troll toll, and yeah, our runners are basically even the amount of checks. They've just done them in wildly different orders, but we're kind of bottlenecking. They're both stubbornly refusing to go into Eastern. It's as if I've joked with them about the Gamachu school of thought of the absolute refusal to do Pendant Eastern, even though it's a Crystal Eastern this time.
Timp's gonna, looks like maybe open the gate to Turtle Rock just to see.
Yeah, I mean, viable. Oh no, he's
maybe not. Super Bunny? You could probably do Super. Oh, you don't have the mirror.
No.
Maybe get a free look at a map check.
It looks like we are seeing Lumaga go into Eastern, so they're going to be the first of the ones to get a prize out of there. So we'll see what we get there.
Oh, Super Bunny, right? So I don't actually know this trick. So is this just? Yeah, it looks like Super Bunny. We did see a red crystal on Misery Mire in the map check.
I think Timp was thinking he could hookshot through, but I don't think he can. So you just gotta go the long way.
All right, first check in Eastern is a fairy in a bottle. That's always helpful, especially since our runners only have 4 hearts. The seed has not been very thoughtful on its heart giving today.
So let's see what this gets Timp. This is a very spicy play. Very time consuming, but $1 and a piece of heart. Rats.
Yeah, it looks like Tim's going to join Lumaga in Eastern Palace. I mean, it makes sense, right? Like 4 checks over 1, you know?
Yeah, I think they're also forced to at this point. So strap in, folks. We're about a half an hour in, and we've only beaten a bad pendant pod. No boots.
All right, medallion quiz for you, since you mentioned it earlier. Which one was that one?
Well, that's the
lightning
medallion.
bolt. Ding, ding. Good job.
I was just having a momentary brain freeze. I was just like, it's the squiggly boy. What's that one?
You know what? You never have to actually know the names. The symbol's going to be on the ground when you got to use it anyway.
Yeah. I also don't remember the names of the 2 tablets where you read the book at. When they say, like, the Ether tablet or the Bombos tablet, I'm like, I played the vanilla The Link to the Past on GBA in 2003, and that's the only time I've ever played A Link to the Past vanilla.
Yeah, as chat points out, one of the possible progression items that we could see is the Master Sword, which would open up Agus Tower.
Oof, that's disgusting.
So maybe that would put the Moon Pearl on the pyramid. We got this check here, and then it's Aegina's Cave. Oh, it's the book. Desert Palace. Welcomes you with open arms. Which is nice because it's going to get an Aegina's check kind of organically in there too. So that's good for everybody.
Both runners going to be officially last locating that, so I'm sure they're both going to feel great. And by great, I mean awful. Kind of like 10 points of psychic damage when you last locate something in a seed.
Oh, that tilt is real, for sure.
Because, that book was basically free, so you got to be starting to panic about, oh no, did my opponent just book it straight here and grab it and then get, 10 minutes of advantage on me?
Get it? Did they book it there? Dun dun dun.
I'm full of, like, unintentional puns, so I apologize in advance.
It's perfect. All right, Aegina's Cave. Waiting here all day. What do we got? Is it the Moon Pearl, or is it going to be in desert? Now that would have been hilarious if that was the Hera small key, by the way. But it wasn't, just Skull Woods.
Let's see. I mean, we're in chat meme territory, so the next thing we're going to be able to see is what's on the ledge over here at desert. Well,
that's just $20, yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's just cash money.
It's all the cash taunting them for not having any cash in the beginning when they needed it most.
Chat pointing out, I don't think we've seen Zori yet.
Oh, did Timp not pay the man? Must not have had the money.
I know Timp was broke, so he was not. We're seeing both runners do Aegina before going into desert. Usually I like to do it after desert, but in this situation I'm sure we're just in desperation mode to get some sort of progression.
Oh, I finally got a heart container. That's nice. Not what we're looking for, but so let's see. Maybe Lanmo is gonna have our something. Lanmo's gonna have something.
Yeah, because we can't bonk the item off the torch, so something could be there, and we'll have to remember it for later, and we'll see.
Ooh.
There was a little bit of commentator psychic powers there. We will definitely have to remember that.
Well, that's fun too. Ice Rod just popping out here.
That's actually kind of nice for fighting the landmos. If you're good with, it's slightly different timing, but you can use it like a fire rod, and at least not have to use a stupid fighter sword against landmos like you're supposed to in vanilla. Ooh.
Yeah, and if you haven't practiced that, like it's significantly slower than the fire rod, and it kind of surprises you the first time you try to use Ice Rod on Lambo. Just how slow that little fizzle comes out.
So, as chat's pointing out, Landmo or Zora?
And the best parts, this is Key Sanity. There's a big chest in Eastern Palace waiting for its big key. There's a couple other weird things that could go where it's not necessarily going to be the Moon Pearl. We hope it is, but you know, we could go nuts on a few different ways of progression.
Yeah, or it could just be the Master Sword and it's time to go fight Aga 1.
Or as someone in chat pointed out, then it could be Ether Tablet.
If we don't get progression soon, this seed's gonna be very cursed. As Timp gets their info about that Cane of Samaria chilling there, we're now gonna see Lumaga go fight the Landmos. Getting a couple of hits in with the Ice Rod, which is good. A couple errant tosses, and they're out of mana, and now it's time to go NMG style.
You know, not too bad though. Being able to take off half of their health, right on with that. I think he hit each one of them once at least. So, yeah, there we go. Not too bad at all. There it is, Moon Pearl.
Aha! Well then.
And the Dark World awakens. Where would you go, JB? Where, you know, you've got pretty much the whole Dark World. You got some Dark Death Mountain open. Where would you go first here?
I would most likely start at Hype Cave, and I would do a quick play to the Dig game. Well, we don't have Mirror, so that kind of stinks. Because if you can clear all of South Dark World, if you ever have to do Smith Chain, then you can just do the flute strats and not even have to worry about isolating anything.
Yeah, I just like checking Hype Cave just because of the, you know, it's got 4 items and you're in a Key Sanity mode, so it's especially enticing. Similar to what you're saying.
I think we only still have the 1 pod key, so it's not ideal. Maybe you go into like Vu and you can beat. I mean, well, do we have? No, we don't have the Thieves Town Big yet. This is the hard part about Key Sanity. I'm not as experienced with it, so there's some things I would do, but then be like, oh yeah, D, I can't.
Yeah, but with Key Sanity, often a couple dungeons are going to be double dips. Like it's pretty common that you're like for example, Thieves Town, that you clear the first 4 and you come back later. Ooh, Fire Rod in the front. It's going to be nice since that lets you fight Moth with the sword.
Yup. I would absolutely now do. I would save and quit out, and then I would go to start at the Sanctuary and go into the Dark World over there. Myers
Also-
or other red.
Also, Ice Palace is now clearable. It's not as fun without that cane that requires boots from Desert Palace, but with a key and a big key and all the items you need, that is clearable.
Yeah, that's rough at 5 hearts, green mail, fighter's sword, and so you'd have to burn all of your mana unless you buy a potion, and then do hammer strats against Cold Stare, and I don't think either of our runners would be too excited to do that at 5 hearts.
No, but you know, sometimes when it's do or die for brackets, sometimes you do a little crazier things trying to get an edge, right? So this could be one of those cases. I don't think they're going to be doing that, especially with some more conservative plays open. But if you're thinking like, I need something to get ahead, you know, the Seeds ledge of the Ice Palace from the beginning. You might dash there just to see what you can get.
Oh yeah. Lumaga is following the route I would do for starting the Dark World, even without the mirror. I would just say go here, save and quit. We have enough to go beat Moth, and if you still have your fairy, Timp lost their fairy, by the way, during that Landmo fight, so we'll have to be a little careful. But if you still have your fairy, you know, you can even screw up some and still take out the Moth.
And Tim's going to go over and find that fire rod out of Hype Cave. As we see Lumaga, whether he's going to grab the Smith here and take him for a ride or not, we'll have to see. Nope, it makes sense not to deal with that right now. He's got hammer pegs and a couple other things here in the village to do first.
Yeah, there's plenty to do. Although now he does have to be a little bit careful, because being in the Dark World on Green Mail means you can get bullied very quickly.
They do have blue mail though. Ooh, Swamp Palace.
Oh, it's, you know, it's with the sprites sometimes. I thought the green hair was their armor color.
Yeah, I think blue mail was in Mini Moldorm Cave, maybe?
It was, yeah, you're right.
Or Waterfall. That was a flipper check. Either way, blue mail doesn't save you that much, you know? It saves you enough, but the bosses are going to hit hard.
Starting to get some more of the big keys, so that's kind of convenient to make life a lot easier. It really stinks when keys become your go mode in Key Sanity, because it can really do all sorts of terrible things to your brain regarding routing.
Ooh, the greatest map in the game, Hyrule Castle, doing absolutely nothing for anybody.
Really needed that.
Which way to the throne room again?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, after all, Link needs a map to do the first of his many crimes as the hero of Hyrule. First is burgling the royal palace.
I never understood why they hated him so much with all those signs, but hey, you know, false accusations all around. Allegedly.
Let's see, you know, Link does some domestic terrorism by blowing up people's houses, messes with the water table, and that's not even speak about what happens to anyone downstream of when he releases the dam.
Imagine living in the Dark World when out of nowhere your water changes. You're like, how did this even happen?
Yeah. Alright, there's the red meringue in the front of Thieves, and since I believe... Oh no, we're taking the death out, because we're done here with no big key.
And Hammer Pegs was just 20 bucks again. More red rupees. Oh, Lumaga forgot he had a fairy.
That is unfortunate on both counts of that would have been useful for fighting Moth at low health, and now it's going to take the extra time to get the death to leave.
So not much out of the front for Thieves Town. Skullwoods is a great check in Key Sanity. I mean, there's so many checks in the front. They already have a key. They can jump right in. So that's going to be really helpful for them.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty big. No, yeah, we're seeing that Skullwoods play. I mean, it's just the next logical thing to do. Timp's kind of... I mean, I'm sorry, Lumag has been leading the way a little bit here in the Dark World checks. So we'll see when we start to get actual divergence. So far, they've been following, you know, each other around. So not much divergence yet.
Love to see a piece of heart when it fills you up. Oh, yeah. Did Lumaga not realize he has a key already? Or did he not get the one? I thought I saw Skullwood's small key somewhere.
Yeah, I would have thought since they did all the same checks, he would have had one picked up. Maybe they're preserving it. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
they're preserving it, that's why. Because we're gonna be full clearing all of Skullwoods. I usually like to go back to front if I have the fire rod, but this is fine too.
I could see trying to find anything that'll help the moth. Oh, like that.
Oh,
The Master
that's
Sword.
very useful. That's like a major damage upgrade against Moth. Yep. In a way, Lumaga's got to be feeling pretty good about their item situation, even though they're probably feeling a bit slow with the big LL on the book and the pearl. Honestly, I think what I would be most scared of is being 45 minutes in and no boots. Because if your opponent's had a half an hour of boots on you, that's pretty bad.
Especially seeing a required item on a torch in Desert Palace. Like, you know the boots are somewhere now. You're not going to have a bootsless seed.
Yeah, I always meme in pre-race chat saying GLHF boots in GT, or if it's an Ambrosia, I say Uncle is lying boots in GT. But, yeah, the longer you go bootsless, the more you start to worry about, uh-oh.
Meanwhile, Timp is making the Ice Palace play. So we're getting kind of the best of both worlds here. Getting to see which would have played out better. I like this because of you just got to go for something, right? The seed kind of helps you go to Ice Palace.
Oh, yeah.
But I also love, Lumaga cleared 20 checks, and got a Master Sword out of it. So, could go either way.
Yeah,
here.
this is a very bold play by Timp. I really dig it, though, I don't know if I would have the courage for it, but mad respect. As we're gonna see Lumaga take on the Moth. Not a favorable Moth pattern. Being above the Moth is kind of dangerous because that has a tendency of backing into you to take you some damage, but they knock it down. Charbroiled Moth and a nice whole heart for your prize.
Timp does a good job at one-shotting the skeletons in there. The Stelphos Knights.
And now it's time for an old tech, but a good tech. Folks, it's Ice Palace bomb jump time. And it's kind of important to remember that Timp is on Fighter Sword, so they have to remember that they need 2 pixels of lineup, which they got.
Wow.
And successfully on the first try.
Pro level Timp right there.
Bufferless, first try. It's as if he's done it before. But for anyone looking to join the Mentor Tournament, we highly encourage you to learn that Ice Palace bomb jump, because there will be seeds when you can't Icebreaker.
Yeah, so I guess Lumaga was preserving that key, just didn't want to grab the one off the Gibdos before Moth. I mean, this works okay, it's still the same process. And without the mirror, you don't really need that entry spot, but it's still kind of weird. I thought, maybe you'd want to, grab that key just in case, but it's still working out here anyway.
Well, what's weird is he's probably going to soft lock himself now. So after this room here with the our mummy friends here.
And that's actually okay. As long as nothing shows up here. Nothing really did, so it was time to leave that area anyway.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's gonna follow the tracks over to Ice Palace now. We'll see where they go next. It's TR small. We do need those. No baby, my instincts were right. Lumaga is probably going to Ice Palace.
Probably feels a lot more comfortable with that Master Sword, you know, than Fighter.
At least you can do spins. Timp is committed to that, those hammer strats. Boots were found, though. There we go. Of course they would be here in Ice Palace when we could have used that cane.
Yeah, the seed kind of told you what to do, for sure, on that one, for the boots.
Fortunately, this seed hasn't been too punishing if you go off track from what it wants you to do. I've seen some key sanity seeds that any divergence from what the game's logic had in mind for you gets swiftly punished.
Thing I'll say too, just as commentators, you know, and viewers, we're, you know, obviously objective in the sense that we can see what they're doing, we've seen what their decisions. When you're racing, you know, you have no idea what's going on except for your own game, and you know, every move you make wears away a little bit or changes how you think about what's happening. So, you know, it's hard for us to look at this and go, oh, why are they doing that? Why are they doing this? You know, they've got a plan in their head based on how things are going, and it's, you know, kind of hard to see when you're not in their shoes.
Ooh, Lumaga doing a nice room clear of the Stalfos. I've been meaning to learn that trick. Nice quick way to get through that room. And we're gonna see Timp be the first one into a very scary cold stare fight. Oh, baby.
Lumaga with a good bomb jump as well. So, as you mentioned, JB, you know, it's an old strat to use that Ice Palace bomb jump, but you got to have it in your arsenal because seeds like this force you to do it. You could not have gotten those boots for that cane otherwise. I mean, not without losing significant time.
All right, here we go. Timp doing a great job with this hammer cold stare. Takes damage there though. Uh-oh. Now he's in Oko territory. Gotta be careful. But only one weapon can hurt these. He does have the red, so that'll help a little bit. Especially as he nearly got hugged by two of the cold stare puffs.
Yeah, this kind of battle is better safe than sorry a lot. You know, you never know when they're going to lunge at you. So sometimes taking the slow and conservative approach, you know, not dying is faster than dying.
Now Timp is back in Oko territory. I think a puff will kill him as well as a hug. Oh, that was
so close.
Oh boy.
Very good, Timp.
And they get it done. Amazing work.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who the runner is. You know, when someone takes a risk like that, you just want to see him beat it. You know, this feels good for everybody to see a runner take down a sneaky one like that. As Lumaga gets his boots, and he's probably pretty excited about that too.
That is an amazing kill, and we're gonna see Lumaga have probably a little bit of an easier time since they can spin as well. Plus, they're up the Mothula kill, so I wonder if we're going to see Timp go retrace some steps and take that out now.
Yeah, we've got Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb available now with the boots.
Chad asking if the Smith's been checked. No, they have not. And hey, I think we would have liked to have had that medallion for the cold stare fight. Womp womp.
So boots locking Bombos and Cane of Samaria, the two things that make Ice Palace more fun.
Thanks,
Classic.
I hate it. Classic rando, just troll.
The upside is, well, Turtle Rock and Misery Mire will be opened without any problems today. So, you know, it's actually it's open now. I mean, obviously we need keys, but once they get that cane of Samaria off Desert Palace, that's all the items they need at least for Turtle Rock. But keys are huge. Can't really do nothing without the keys. And I think we only have one small key to Turtle Rock.
And with that flute, getting to the Mire area is now a thing we can do. See Lumaga gassing up in the recovery room before getting their fight on with Cold Stare. And Chad also getting a little worried about a mirrorless smith chain being a potential possibility, but I think we can wait on that a while longer.
Yeah, I'd like to see him maybe do a mushroom check here, just a quick one. Get some potions, refill on the way with that flute before going on to the next thing. But lots of options now. We got that Mire Shed area. Take a look as well. Yeah, let's get some potions, Timp. Turn in that mushroom.
It's time to go shopping.
Meanwhile, like you said, JB, Lumaga's got a little advantage here on this fight, being able to spin with the Master Sword, keeping those puffs just out of reach.
Yeah, this is so much comfier. Lumaga will get tons of time as they take out 2 of the puffs immediately. And there's the third one.
Yep.
Much easier.
And we just got a compass from the potion shop, but the big thing is Timp got a couple blue goos, so he's ready to take on anything now. I would think Lumaga might want to do the same thing as if he heads towards those boots checks first.
Yeah, so we're gonna see the cane pick up, and then we will probably just go into the Dark World from there.
Yeah, so that will open up Misery Mire completely, because we do have a big key and a small key. I mean, the small key is optional there, but having the big key, I believe that does make Misery Mire clearable, which is the second red crystal, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. So Pyramid could be in play. It's not going to be an easy Vidi kill, given that, you know, we have a low sword and really not great ways to kill. Because I like the ways that you want to see is like with the bow, go elite sniper mode with silver arrows, or you know, you just got to practice your NMG kills, I guess. Imagine playing NMG though, right?
Playing the game as intended, that's silly.
We're not
here for that.
What goofy nonsense is that?
And this seed's a good example. You know, if you play a lot of seeds, you'll see a lot of games that'll make it kind of easy. They'll give you lots of equipment, lots of hearts, lots of mail. You know, you still got to be ready for the hard mode, and this is kind of one of those seeds where doing Ice Palace with Fighter Swords and doing Misery Mire with hardly anything that's helpful. Although Tim's not opting for that one, but you got to just be ready for everything when you're racing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him for not committing to Mire just yet, being on the Fighter Sword, because a Fighter Sword Vidi with no bow is a tall order.
And Tim still hasn't done Skullwoods, and that's a much safer route. Makes perfect sense.
There's a sword, the Master Sword's there.
Yeah, he'll like that.
And,
Lumaga's gonna check maybe the Dark World and Death Mountain? Maybe check little
DDM. DDM can see what's in Turtle Rock.
Now, if you were up here, assuming he only has the one Turtle Rock key, would you dip into Turtle Rock anyway just to take a look?
Ooh. That's challenging to say, because with one key, you can...
And you're only getting a Chain Chomp.
Right, you can get the Chain Chomp. I mean, it's worth it. There's enough checks in the front. You know, you have the 2 Fire Rod checks, you have the, you know, the map. There's enough.
Oh, he's got 2 keys.
Oh, okay, our tracker correcting us. Yeah, should give old Jinxie Girl and our Restreamer Amarith follows too. They're doing great work here behind the scenes. We can't thank them enough for making us look smarter than we are.
They're bailing us out a ton today. Those boots we almost missed.
Oh, I caught it at the last second because I was like, hey, someone's dashing, and I realized, oh, they were right there in Ice Palace.
So with 2, see, I don't know that the second one is as important. The second key to Turok is as important as the third. Oh, you mean the third one right there? All right, so the third one gets you to Laser Bridge.
Skip lava chest. Who cares?
Yeah, now
beat the dungeon.
Right. Still need the big key, but you know, that's tempting to go all the way to Laser Bridge to take a look. If there wasn't a lot of other options, but that Misery Mire being open, Lumaga's not even going to take a look.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a. There's so many checks though in Key Sanity for Turtle Rock though. So
yeah, and Lumaga also went to the Dark World a little too early there. Without a mirror, he has to leave because he went to the Dark World from the south. So you know he didn't get a chance to open up the portal to Turtle Rock to be able to use a medallion there. So actually, he might be going back to do that now.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth doing, I think. I mean, it's kind of gambly because you're double dipping TR, which is a long dungeon, but I don't know. I feel like given where our runners are at, an hour in, as we're hitting the 1 hour mark, you gotta start thinking, what if my opponent did something better and now I have to do a certain something to, like, get myself back in the game?
Do we know which dungeon is the third pendant?
I don't think we do. Because we got Pod and Hera as 2 of them, but it's either going to be Swamp or Thieves, though. We know all the other crystals because we've gotten maps for them. But I wonder if we're going to see something like the mirror here in TR, just something nice and nasty that we need.
I definitely like doing the front checks. I mean, you're probably going to do those anyway, so you're not really losing time. Unless you come back in go mode, you're going to do these checks, so you're not. It's kind of a net neutral. So that's okay. It's just going all the way to Laser Bridge is kind of the question. And I think with Misery Mire being open like that, it's really hard not to go right to Misery Mire, to me.
Yeah. And we're gonna see Timp take on Mothula. They're out of mana, so now they're trying to do a Hammer Moth. And they get it done.
I appreciate Timp giving us some stress with these boss fights today. We're getting some good entertainment value out of those. Good job.
I believe that makes our runners tied for crystals at this point. So yeah, Temp, what you gonna do next? And I want to remind people that might have just started tuning in, this race between Lumaga and Timp is for all the marbles. Whoever wins this race gets to advance to brackets in the Challenge Cup. The other one is done for the tournament, because, well, I took the other spot in this group.
The one who doesn't win will have more time to work on the mentor tournament. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah. But
just not a win in the Challenge Cup, that's all.
It's been both of their goals to make brackets in Challenge Cup. It's not easy, and the group that we had, it was Timp, myself, Lumaga, and Yoinker's wife. Well, it was a very competitive group, and everyone took losses and wins that they weren't expecting.
There's a Dark Palace key. I think that's the second one we have now.
Oh, right?
Yeah, second.
Realistically, having a second pod small doesn't really change the calculus of going into pod yet or not. Either you're gonna do it, or You're gonna wait till you have like 4.
And they know that it's a green pendant too, so there's going to be part of that in the math.
Lumaga having a little bit of difficulty here. Oh, they are gonna do lava. Okay, so they're committed to not fighting. Well, they don't have the big key, so I need to keep quiet. Yeah, they're done. And yeah, meanwhile, Timp going into Mire as my co-com's Jaws saying that it's the good thing to do, so we're gonna see how this might reward Timp now.
So speaking of the Mentor Tournament, again, you know, if you have any interest in all in learning more about the game, if you've never raced before or streamed before, you're a great candidate for that. Definitely sign up for that. But Lumaga was actually my mentor in the 2020 Mentor Tournament, and one of his things that he told me over and over again was ABCD. Always be clearing dungeons, and sometimes the C is crystal dungeons. So, you know, seeing Timp do that, that's sort of the mantra that I followed. And kind of funny that Lumaga's not following that today, but again, when it's do or die, you start doing different stuff to try to get that any advantage you can. But looking for dungeons when you can, I think, can be a good strategy.
Yeah, I just think it's just been a twisty seed, so it's kind of pulling you in weird directions that you wouldn't normally want to do. I mean,
and that, like Ice Palace with no items, you know, it's tough still, right? Like you want to avoid dying. So
yes, that is the bottom. Well, the bottom of the pyramid to learning to rando is stop stopping, then stop dying, and then you kind of go from there.
Yeah, as chat pointing out, Lumaga did not do his boots checks right away. He went to the mountain, and that makes sense why he was checking to rock first.
It was a worthy thing to do, but now he'll have to find that 4th Turtle Rock Small because he checked Lava Chest.
Awkward Skull Woods big key and Mire for Timp there.
Hate seeing that.
And we'll also add for the Mentor Tournament thing is there's lots of times to learn and practice commentating, restreaming, tracking all the stuff that goes into the production side. You know, so if you think you're already good enough to not be in the Mentor Tournament, or you don't have time to be a mentor, or this is just not, the racing part's not your thing, but you want to do what we're doing right now, definitely hang out in the Discord, in the Gomo Discord, talk to us about that stuff. We're going to be training people and getting people set up to do this stuff too. It's really fun.
Yeah, I just dropped the link into the chat, so if you give that a click, you'll head on in there and yeah, drop in. Honestly, like the Go Mode podcast community is really friendly and really helpful.
And we've just seen real quick to drop in the bow and the big key to Eastern Palace for Timp in Misery Mire here. So Eastern Palace is now a finishable dungeon. You know, we've got some weird pod action potentially mixed into there, so we'll have to see what happens next.
Yeah, still without the mirror, though. I think I would defeat Eastern first and then mirror to 5 and hammer in.
Absolutely. You know, it's just a little run up the stairs away to pod, but you know, there's still the big chest in Eastern, right? Couldn't pick that up earlier, so there's still 2 checks there. Plus, it's a crystal, we know, so that's likely, you know, a good target for the next thing to do.
Yeah, we're gonna now see Timp on low health do a. It's gonna be a challenging Vidi fight. No invincibility items. No like really powerful sword.
But that bow is gonna come in handy, at least to finish him off.
Yes.
You know, it takes 8 shots to take down Vidi's big eye, which gives him 22 shots to shoot it at Little Eyes if he wants, along with bombs for the NMG strat.
At least second phase is easy. Now dodging all of the mini eyeballs in phase 1 while doing doing Master Sword swings, that is going to be the sweaty part.
So it looks like Lumaga is going right to the back here. Just going to challenge Vidi right away.
Okay.
I like it. Let's just get that part done with, and then look for items. But he is not going to get the bow. So that's a little bit of a disadvantage, but you know, if he's going up, I gotta think if he's already just charging right to Vidi, he might already feel comfortable with just bombs and a Master Sword anyway. So
yeah, you can do little bits of splash damage and chip away at health with the bow with some of your shots, just preserving some of the arrows for the final phase. Oh no, Timp dying immediately.
So, for me, I think the decision could have been here where you just leave and you come back to fight Vidi later. And there's still an item on Vidi. You have Eastern Palace. You have some stuff. I might just come back. But you gotta appreciate Timp just giving another shot anyway.
Oh yeah, I appreciate the bloodlust for revenge, but
Lumaga bombing all the little eyeballs.
Yeah, just yeet all of your bombs away to chip away at them, and then do some spins from here. Gonna have to be careful.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you gotta be careful, because those eyeballs pack a punch.
Yeah, just like the Cold Stare fight that Timp was doing, slow and steady wins the race. Just be a little conservative. Just be careful. You know, if you're getting through this, you might as well finish it. Don't take a death after a few minutes of a fight. But that is stressful. You know, if you've not even practiced a fight without like bow and arrow, without silvers, without a safety item, you know, that is some stressful battles.
Oh yeah, I mean, Lumaga and I are both part of the team of barely having time to like play rando in general, so imagine setting aside time to practice. But if you have the time to practice, definitely one of the things that you should definitely work on is your low percent boss kills, even if you're a newer runner. You know, slowly work your way down to harder kills. Oh boy, Lumaga.
Yeah, and unfortunately, just the, you know, like you said, bloodlust coming back here for Vidi right away. Didn't get an opportunity to get that bow that Timp has. As Timp marches back into Vidi's room for take 2 here.
Oh no. And Timp doing a juggle strat. It's gonna work for him. There it is.
Very nice.
And now, is he forgetting that he has a bow?
He is so vengeful on this eye that he just wants to smash it with a hammer.
Amazing.
It's real. You were joking about, you know, like psychic damage and stuff, right? Tilt in a race is legitimately a huge thing, right? And, you know, a death all the way back on Vidi, you know, like Lumaga's death there, way into the fight, like that wears you down big time. And that's going to change how you come back. And sometimes you're not thinking evenly, you know, when you're back in there for number 2. But good job, Timp, smashing that with a hammer.
Was extremely funny.
Can feel the vengeance. But Lumaga's going to find this bow, and I think he's going to feel a lot better about the Vidi fight for part 2 here, knowing that he's got the big eyeball taken care of. He showed us that he can handle the little ones. It's just, again, you know, worrying about how much time it took, and, you know, if that's going to wear him down a little bit. But, you know, you got to get through that. You got to keep playing anyway. You play
That's
until
right.
the time's over.
Because both runners have taken unfortunate deaths. I mean, seemed like Lumaga was leading the way a little bit, as they've kind of done a lot of the same checks as each other, and now Timp's kind of now leading the way a bit.
This makes me think that Timp thinks he has the mirror by going in here first and not going to Eastern Palace first.
Yeah, I mean, or he thinks the mirror will be here in pod.
Yeah, I mean, he started walking up towards Eastern Palace and changed his mind. So, you know, there was a decision made.
I mean, it's defensible. I would have preferred to have done Eastern because maybe you get another pod small. But who knows? This is such a big dungeon now to go into.
Yeah, you know, like I keep saying, you know, it's easy for us to sit here and go, oh, you should do this, you should go there, but you know, these guys have played each other quite a bit. You know, they know each other a little bit, and you know, we've been saying maybe they should do this, do that, and then they follow themselves. They've been doing the same thing, so they seem to know. They're very similar runners, which is important for the race.
Lumaga's a bit more of a gambler, as we saw him, you know, go straight to the boss. And that's something that you kind of learn, and Timp probably knows that, having played Lumaga a bunch. That might influence some of his decision making. It has for me, because I ended up playing Lumaga quite a bit recently too, and not only in the groups tier, but a couple of friendly bi-weekly seed runs that, by the way, the Go Mode podcast does do every episode. As well as, I want to say, in some other things where we've ended up in the same lobby. And I've seen that he can be a bit of a gambler. And that affected my decision earlier this week when I was looking for a Go Mode in my race against him in group play. Where I was going to say,
speaking of gambling, he did not.
Boy.
Chad's pointing out he did not do the cutscene chest, so that big, in case that big chest in Skull Woods matters later, we'll know where to find the big key.
Yeah, he'll last locate that then. That key just does not exist anymore for Lumaga. As we're gonna see Timp go exploring in Palace of Darkness. Oh boy. I'm on the edge of my seat for Lumaga right now. Oh my goodness.
Alright, well there's the fourth key to Turtle Rock inside pod that we saw.
We always like a nice French vanilla pod key. Alright. We have chat asking if Lumaga has gone into pod. No, he has not. This is the first time we're checking out pod. So far, Timp hasn't really gotten anything too exciting yet. There's a Hera, so if you ever wanted to do your bathroom breakdown in Hera Basement. Okay, that's an actually interesting map to have, because we don't know if Swamp is the other pendant yet. It's going to be one of Thieves Town or Swamp.
Yeah, I don't believe Timp did the skeleton basement. So that is actually in logic check that was missed out on.
Well, we're gonna see Lumaga turn in the Pyramid Fairy.
And accidentally buy some bombs. Oh, actually, no, I think he did that intentionally, because I think he was out of bombs.
Oh, he was out, yeah.
It kind of looked like it was it was so smooth.
Yeah.
Alright, and Timp's gonna go ahead and clear out the back of we got the big chest in Eastern and Armos to handle here. So 2 checks left there, as he's gonna grab a crystal through here. Lumaga's gonna get the pyramid ledge too out of this, which will be good. Now, even though Lumaga took an unfortunate death real late in the game there on Vidi and is a little bit behind, you know, if Lumaga doesn't go to pod, you know, that's some time he's going to save, because we didn't see anything yet. So if pod ends up not being important, he doesn't go there, that's going to give him a chance. That's kind of the big difference right now between the two runners.
Yeah, so that's the big skip. Ooh, the swamp big, and just a piece of heart.
Yeah, some magic. Never unhappy to get some magic. He looks like he's going to get 2 free bottles of magic here from the fairy.
You got your Mountain Dew right there.
Little Baja Blast action. Actually, I don't know what any of the colors of Mountain Dew are. There's too many. There's too many colors now.
Unfortunately, I'm a bit of a Taco Bell sicko. I can tell you that Baja Blast is a bit more aqua colored. The green definitely looks like the base Mountain Dew.
And although we're not sponsored by Mountain Dew at all, although Mountain Dew, if you're out there, Timp might want sponsorships. I don't know. Talk to him. But there's a flaming hot Cheetos Mountain Dew flavor for some reason.
That sounds just about as revolting as that Coca-Cola Starlight that was recently in the stores.
You go. And if you like soda talk, you can meet our new podcast at... No, I'm just kidding.
No. All right, we're going to see Timp shoot down the Armos Knights. Let's see what we get here. Chat asking about catfish. No one's done that either.
Lumaga looks like he's going to do a Smith chain here, which is also a good option. Just get a map of Thieves Town so we could now know what our crystal and pendant are if we get a Dark World map check on Timp's side.
Yeah, we will find out which is the correct dungeon to go into if you want to beat the game. Although, this could be an oops all dungeon seed, we don't know.
Yeah, Key Sanity often pushes you to every dungeon. There's so many items because you've got to get all those keys. It's not uncommon to have at least a dip into every dungeon.
All right, the first half of Mirrorless Smith Chain is done. Right now we're if Temp would be so kind as to check the map, we would know how badly we need that mirror or not. And Lumaga has committed another crime as the hero of Hyrule as a creeper. Sorry, you were saying.
Thieves Town is the pendant. So we do need a mirror still. We may or may not need a big key to Thieves Town.
Hey, fresh clothes at the smith.
Some other options that we have, our runners haven't checked here, is it looks like Lumaga's going to get a fake powder here, which is a good move. Timp did not save his mushroom after he found nothing. This is a little trick. You can basically trick the game into thinking that you have the powder by getting up close, making sure you have no magic. You use the Cane of Samaria, and kind of when you hear that first beep right away, you switch to the mushroom and start using that, and the game goes, okay, close enough, here's some powder, and gives you the magic bat item.
It's important to remember that there's the cape, so now you might want to check that out. It's important to remember that this is a Super Nintendo game, and fun fact, this entire game is 2 megabytes. Half an iTunes song, so you can say this game is held together with, like, sticks of gum, scotch tape, and what other coding nonsense they needed to do to make this game fit on a 2 megabyte cartridge in 1992.
Now, I think if I was Lumaga, I think that the worst part of finding that cape was like, where was that for the Vidi fight?
Right? Yeah, that would allow you to do what I call the coward kill.
Yeah, and Lumaga already does have his bottles full of magic goo, green goo, so no need to fill up there. Looks like he's going to head over to Eastern now, too. So here we get Catfish from Timp. Something we haven't seen yet. The Thieves Town, Turtle Rock, big key. All right, Turtle Rock is now clearable. That's the place. We also have Ether Tablet that hasn't been checked up there on the mountain.
Yeah. Lumaga cannot clear the dungeon, though, because he burned a key to check out to the lava chest, though, so he'll need that last
And that's in pod, so he's going to have to go into pod for that one. It's in the turtle room, I think, in the back.
Oh, okay.
So Timp got that one.
Yeah, Timp could be in a very good spot by beating this dungeon and just really being, what, a mirror away from go mode? I'm trying to see what our key situation also needs to be.
I mean, it's the mirror, I think, is all Timp needs, assuming he doesn't get the lava chest. We know the lava chest is nothing, but it's going to be up to Timp to decide, I think, because he only has, I believe he only has 3 of the 4 Turok keys.
Yeah, looks like we're going to see Timp go into the Dark World here. Probably we'll check out, I don't think he's done Hookshot Cave yet, so he'll have to do that if he hasn't already, but then it's TR time.
Yeah, so as Grey Corvid in chat point out, Lumaga needs that 4th Turtle Rock Small, which is in pod. So Lumaga, for his chances, he's gonna have to really hope that there's maybe the mirror is in pod somewhere, like Vanilla Big Key Chest or something, or on Helmasaur, because it's gonna be real tough for him to go back to that. Although he could just head into pod after this one, after Eastern too, just like Timp did. So we'll have to see what's going on there.
It's gonna be close, but definitely it feels like Timp is in a good spot. And to paint a little contrast, the start of Timp's group play did not go the way he was planning. So
there's that 4th. So Timp does have all 4 keys, so he'll get to easily check the lava chest to feel good about that.
You just got to do it now.
So Timp is just a mirror away from go mode, which also could go through Thieves Town with a big key there. But that's pretty much all that's left in terms of the items. We've got to have a mirror for Swamp Palace. They already have the small key and big key for Swamp Palace.
And we already have 2 GT smalls, so as soon as you find that big key, go, 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 go. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Yeah, and as we talked at the beginning of the show here, this is this tournament keys format has the big key to Ganon's Tower in Ganon's Tower, kind of like the normal open style. So they're not going to find that key out here. They're going to find that at the end. Which I love, because I love the guessing game and the suspense of what's going on in the basement there. So Lumaga is going to go to pod, so he will get that 4th TR small key, assuming he goes to the back of pod. Why wouldn't you at this point? But he's got some time to catch up for sure.
Yeah, so I kind of wonder how you have to feel at 126 being 1 item from go mode, because it ended up being, while starved at the beginning, the middle really picked up the pace. So now you got to start wondering, how am I doing in relation to my opponent at this point?
Yeah, we did see these checks that Timp's doing on Lumaga's side. He already came in and dipped all the way to the to lava chest, the vanilla big key chest. So, as Timp takes a little death there, but not too far away from the entrance. Just a little time. But these deaths, these little time saves, or time losses, are going to help Lumaga inch a little bit closer into filling that gap. So we can definitely still have a close race here.
Plus, keep in mind, while Timp is checking all these chests in the front, Lumaga has already done that. Exactly. So he can book it towards the back already. And so a little time will get chewed away there. But to give a little bit of group context as we see our runners retrace each other's steps here, I dropped the link in, give them a follow, by the way. Lumaga did not have a great start to his group play, didn't go the way he wanted to, and at one point he had taken 3 losses and was feeling like he was all but over, but some matches broke his way. And this race is the big tiebreaker. Whoever wins this race will move on to the brackets.
Another big difference in items that they have is Lumaga does have the cape from doing Magic Bat with a fake powder. Tim's, if for example, if for some reason the mirror is on bumper ledge, or progression leads to that bumper ledge, that does give Lumaga kind of a comeback chance if Timp doesn't get to find the powder for a while. So there are a couple different things that could swing this race again as in the next few minutes, depending on what's here on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, it's hard to say because our runners have been kind of bold with skipping some of these things that probably should have been taken a look at.
Yeah, we also have Ether Tablet. There's now the big chest in Skullwoods that Timp has access to. Lumaga won't because it's in the cutscene chest back in Misery Mire. We've got the purple chest from Smith Chain is still out there. And of course, Bumper Ledge and Spike Cave. So all these little extra kind of orphaned side thing. Oh, that was Tower of Hierarchy there, but there is a Turok key in here somewhere.
I believe it was down here in the mirror base, in the rupee basement.
So they do have that Tower of Hera basement option as well. Another random orphan check.
Oh no, I guess our tracker is already saying that they have gotten that TR small.
It might have been on the right side.
Yeah.
I can't wait to practice more commentary during the Mentor tournament. So if anybody else wants to learn how to do this kind of stuff too, join us for the Mentor tournament. Signups are now for racers, but hang around in the Discord and you'll get a chance to do restreaming, learn about how all the production happens. It's pretty straightforward, pretty easy to learn, very accessible, and it's really fun. What do you say?
Yes, it is. And by the way, we were talking before the race about how Lumaga was practicing hammer yump in case he got tournament keys.
Yes, he learned that a half an hour before this race. So good job, Lumaga. Way to go.
Try too. Holy Mackinac. That's impressive.
So if you think you can't handle any of these glitches, or these tricks, people are still learning those 30 minutes before a race. So you can too, folks who are watching this. So it's very accessible with just a little practice.
And Lumaga has been playing a long time, so you don't have to learn everything right away.
All right, let's see what Laser Bridge has for us today. A mirror shield.
That's useful as long as you stop getting shot, Timp.
All right, so will the mirror be on Trinex, or are we hunting for a little bit longer? Oh, this is Lumaga going to pay Zora, which I don't think we've seen at all.
No, we have not.
Imagine the mirror being here on Zora all this time.
Man, that would change the race immediately until Timp realizes they have to pay the troll toll. Timp is going to have to be very careful against Trinex here. It is going to be a hammer Trinex. The troll toll is just a map. And we don't need those anymore. Alright, be careful, Timp. One little kissy kiss from the Trinex will take you down. So... Ooh, okay, no, he got 2 hot shots, and now he realizes, I'd better heal.
Yeah, we also didn't see Helmasaur go down, so the green pendant is also live for a possible item, so... to see if that matters. And there's a lot of disgusting things that could happen in the seed, or it could just be here on the way. So we'll, it's like all rando. Who knows what's going to happen?
Timp not opting to do hammer strats, but gets the 2 heads down, so now it's just spinny time. And
all right,
while...
Lumaga's going to go check.
Yeah.
Yep, go for it.
No, I was going to say the same thing as you did. It's tablet time. Oh my gosh, there it is. I believe that puts Timp in go mode.
That is go mode.
133 on the nose. Although that said, I don't know how strong or how much he likes to do Master Sword Silverless Ganon, so I wonder if they'll do a little bit of fluff to see if they can get, you know, a better prize to like have an arrow upgrade, or most importantly, another sword.
The nice thing is Swamp Palace does have a few things on the way that are pretty easy. I mean, everything except for left side swamp and the south check in the main below the main room, you can kind of just grab on your way. You know, even bombing the wall is not going to take that much time. And then, of course, because this mode has you looking throughout Ganon's Tower for the Ganon's Tower Big Key, there's going to be an opportunity to maybe find silvers or a tempered sword out of there. So lots of checks are just going to be naturally on the way without being too big of a deal.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Lumaga, unfortunately, do Hera Basement. I don't blame them. This seed's been sniffing out some garbage.
Oh, you don't want to see that. No, I don't want to see that one.
Oh dear, that could put him in a very awkward spot now.
And that's the insanity of key sanity, right? Is you could be doing what looks good check-wise and just be led into the wrong way.
Yeah, it's crazy to think.
Looks like he's gonna do Spike Cave, which makes sense right here.
Yeah, this is a little unfortunate that he's being led so astray, as he sees what he must do to beat the game. Still avoiding TR. So I don't know if he got the big key for that yet, did he? Our tracker's saying no, he did not, so
yeah, that's on Catfish, so it's gonna be probably maybe a while until he heads for that one.
Classic rando, that's right. So this is starting to look like Timp's race to lose now. As Timp is wasting no time really checking a whole lot of anything. They are just beelining it to the boss. We're gonna probably see a nice diver down here.
I think Lumaga is headed to either the purple chest. Maybe he's going to go into Thieves Town. He's got that bumper ledge check still you might want to make.
At this point, what Lumaga is doing is playing to outs. He knows he's probably behind, given that we're 136 in. And he's desperately looking for that big key, so he's probably going to check the bumper ledge, and then maybe he'll hop in the water and go to Catfish. And that'll get him back into running. No,
I think he's going to head towards Thieves now.
Again,
objectively, we see, or we're subjective, right? We see what's happening. But I mean, if you're in this race, you just picked up the big key to Thieves, you're looking for stuff, why wouldn't you? There's a lot of reasons why he'd follow up on this. And I don't think he knows he didn't get the maps yet, I think, that would show him that this is a pendant. Well, he does have this map. There's a P in the corner. So he would know that that's P for pendant.
That didn't stop me in my race against Yoinker's wife from mirroring out of accidentally what I thought was a pendant Swamp Palace when it is in fact a crystal, and go into a pendant mired and beating it, thinking I was in go mode. It's like the Arthur meme where it says, that sign won't stop me because I haven't learned to read. Meanwhile, we're seeing Timp just solidly take out Argus here for the 7th and final crystals, so as it goes down, I guess now's as good a time as any if you want to play the good old-fashioned GT guessing game. You can probably start putting some numbers in. Me, I'm always doing a cursed 13.
Yeah, I went with a 6. I went with a nice easy 6 this time.
Hey, a tempered sword and the Thieves' Town attic. Useful, but unfortunately, probably not helping Lumaga outside of a tragedy on Timp's side.
Yeah, I mean, Key Sanity does add a lot of paths, and sometimes the paths take you, in a good. You think it's a good way because it's kind of telling you that, but it's actually lying to you and sending you off on a path you shouldn't be on.
Yeah, but our runners are at a skill level where they can and will do Master Sword Ganon. Who cares? Don't have a cape, don't have Burna.
Could still find silvers. Tim could find them in the basement.
Yeah, there's a likely chance that it's there, seeing as we're seeing... Oh, Lumaga found silvers here in Thieves,
Oh, you're
so
right.
no. Unless there's a sword in GT to help out Timp, this is what he's gonna get. This is what he's got. He's got a big riot shield.
Now, there's always a lot of discussion about which way is the fastest way up the mountain when you're coming up here to the Dark World. Some people think this way is the fastest, going up to the TR portal if you've already opened it. A lot of folks also claim that it's faster to go through Super Bunny Cave using a mix of the hook shot to go through the blocks and then use the mirror to make them disappear. So, which way do you prefer?
I'd go through Paradox, personally. Timp having some trouble.
Yeah.
Oof. But he gets through.
As Lumaga makes quick work of blind and gets a heart for the trouble and another pendant. Not helping him now, but I mean, we need to see him head over to Catfish to get the big key to Turtle Rock. We know the mirror is on Trinex, which leads to the Go Mode Swamp Palace all the way up. So, all right, let's see. We're going with Timp's numbers here. We'll see how everybody does on the big key guessing game. Come on, 6.
All right. We got 1. Ooh.
It's a great bottle to have.
Yes. He'll want that to, in case he takes an ouchie.
Lumaga's going to check the purple chest.
Doing everything but Catfish, which is honestly one of my top skipped locations in the game.
I think it is for a lot of folks. It's so out there. Lumaga's chance to do that was when he was going to go pay Zora to try to pair that, and it's just probably not going to happen. That's rando. That happens. It's kind of like the Aegina's Cave check we had talked about earlier, about sometimes that has something.
Yeah,
Come on, number 6 right here. Let's do it. Let's see it. Oh.
Alas. So 7 now, 3 hundo.
Lots of cash in Ganon's Tower. What has he been hoarding this whole time for?
Oh, you know.
He's just gonna buy the Triforce of Courage.
There you go.
Everybody's got a price. Maybe even Link does.
8 is nothing.
So we talked about the Mentor Tournament a lot. This is the Ganon Tower excursion here is something that you can definitely practice, especially when we get up to the climb. So if you do the Mentor Tournament, you join that, part of your practice with mentors is definitely going to involve Ganon's Tower practice. It's just you do it every seed. Virtually every mode involves some Ganon's Tower action. So it's good to know how to beat these rooms one by one.
Yes, for applicants, I would definitely recommend never forfeiting out of a race at this stage of your career. Just keep doing your Ganon's Tower so that you can get through the gauntlet easily. We're here to help you get through it easier, but that's the part where you want to get as many reps in as you can at that tower.
All right, Lumaga's going to get his big key for Turtle Rock.
Yep, here's the bad news. Yeah, and there's the instant save and quit. Goodness, I was losing track of items, so that was 8, 9, we're at 13 done now? So that means
Yeah, we'll be
I'm
on
out of it.
14. We'll be on 14 next for
Yeah.
Bob's chest.
That's right.
That's still a thing I got to work on. You know, you're always getting better at this game. It's like golf, right? You got to just keep working on it. But like I can't do that little jump tempted. That's always something that folks should be working on, is just these little jumps. You know, skipping a room or two through the teleportals. You know, there's a lot of little ways you can save a lot of time.
Hey, there's a pod small that we don't need. 14.
I love Bob. You know, we call that little anti-fairy Bob, but it's just so funny when Bob's all messed up like that.
Yeah, I think if
Poor
you
Bob.
bonk the item off the torch at the beginning of the basement, they get restored to a regular one. Otherwise, they're glitched.
Yeah, taking the. All right, Temp has to be careful. He just used the rest of his arrows, so if the big key is here, not on the right side, he's gonna have to try to find some arrows some way. So, he is gonna go the right side now, though. But he does have no arrows. Does have a shovel. He could dig for some outside, but you know you need at least 8 arrows to get through those mimic rooms. You do get some in the second room, but so he needs 4 arrows at least just to get to the first mimic room. Yes, there were arrows on the torch. He could go back to the left side.
Oh my goodness. Temp did pick up half magic along the way, which is very useful, given that we don't really have a whole lot of anything to really help make the fight easier. That's a miss. Chat joking. There's always mimic clip. There's our big key. That was at 19. And then, hey, some magic powder. Well, that's useful.
Quick, go back and get the cape.
Yeah, you can get a little sustain. But not... Temp's gonna realize he's gonna have a problem in a second.
Yeah, he just realized there.
And there it is.
So he didn't see the, he didn't see the arrows on that, but you can, just dig a bunch of holes and hope for some arrows here. So we'll have to see how long it's going to take Tim to get at least 4 arrows. He'll probably want more than that.
Well, they'll be in a 5-pack, but he'll probably want to get 2 5-packs. So now this is just pure time for Lumaga to catch up. But unfortunately, they also still have to do Swamp after this, so I'm afraid he'll have to dig for quite a while. There's our first 5-arrow pack. Alright, we're moving back in. In the second Mimic room, one of the pots has another 5 arrows, so he can fill up there. Temp going with the no damage strat line of getting through this room.
And Temp, I don't think not realizing he has the mirror shield, which will stop those fire blasts, but still kind of sticking to that same, this is what you do every time you come in here kind of mindset, which, as I mentioned earlier, we're now in the gauntlet where this climb where it's going to be the same almost every time you play this game. So it's really good to practice these rooms one by one until you feel comfortable with them.
A trick in that second room is you can still, like in the first room, you can grab the wall and move mimics around. So if you have the mirror shield, you can face them north-south and let them shoot your mirror shield and do nothing while you blast them with the arrows. That would have made Temp have a little bit easier time through those 2 rooms. But he's through the cannonball room, and now it's time for the dodgy boy room.
And just another plug for the Mentor Tournament. There's going to be a Boots Camp kind of Restream VOD experience the first week, in a couple weeks in the first week of the tournament, where you're going to watch, I think it's Sailor Nep, go through room by room GT and talk about how to take on all these rooms. So definitely worth checking that out. Again, hang out in the Discord, check out the Go Mode podcast, and sign up for the Mentor Tournament if you're just wanting to get better.
It's honestly like especially as a person that really gets the best way for me to learn is like through actual lessons and not really so much on my own. Yeah, the Mentor Tournament was amazing for me. Ooh, Timp needing to heal yet again because I think they were almost a frame away from getting shot to death by that laser eye. They're gonna get a fairy in a ball, though, at least. Meanwhile, we're seeing Lumaga go into Swamp to go mode that out and finish this seed. So just trying to run back how this seed kind of turned out. Like the big sticking point, of course, was that required big key at Catfish, but I'm trying to think, what were some of the other turning points of this seed?
They both took falls on Vidi, but Timp had he took a death right away, and so he lost less time than Lumaga. Lumaga had gotten all the way to the kind of the final fight with Vidi's giant eye, so that took a lot of loss. Lumaga did some extra checks with Pod. He got a couple different directions to go that Timp didn't have, so that also made up some time difference.
We have our Restreamer Amarith clarifying in chat that about a week to a week and a half, all the announcements for like the mentees and the mentors will be there. So this is the sign-up period. Get your sign-ups in.
Yeah, sign-ups close on the pretty much like midnight around the 25th. So the next time the Go Mode podcast comes out, that's the end of the sign-up. So you get about 2 weeks from yesterday. As we see Lumaga do diver down with the cane of Samaria, another fairly easy trick you can learn. You should have it in your bag of tricks along with bomb diver down, just to save quite a few rooms of time there. They're just a bunch of tricks, and actually there's a Go Mode podcast episode from a few months ago, maybe it might even be up to a year now, where they went through the different tricks and kind of gave their opinion on the priority of what you should learn and how much time. And there's just some tricks you just gotta know, because your opponents are going to know that, and you're going to just lose time if you can't do it too.
Oh yeah, I mean, diver down is like a 30-second trick where it saves you 30 seconds of time, both in the front and the back, I would say. But there's some tricks that, say, the Icebreaker or the Ice Palace Bomb Jump right at the top of the list that, if I mentor you, I will be teaching you those very quickly, because those will save you 5 or even 10 minutes in Ice Palace. Because Ice Palace, the way it's designed in this game, has a ton of backtracking, and we're trying to go fast. We don't want to do that.
As Lumaga has a nice arrow shot, silver arrow to the eye for Argus to take down that last crystal. So Lumaga will be heading up to Ganon's tower, just as Timp is ready to fall down into a really quite a long battle with Master Sword Silverless Ganon.
And he has no invincibility, 1 fairy, and no magic, so they'll have to manage their mana very carefully as they do 54 spins. I have to admit, I would be very intimidated of this fight. I haven't really done a whole heck of a lot of Master Sword Ganon, especially with this gear set.
You know, but this has sort of been the mantra of the seed, right? Slow, but steady could potentially win the race, at least for Timp here. You know, you get so far into this fight, if you're on like phase 4, starting to do swings, like you don't want to die or fall at that point. That's such a long time loss. So, you know, you just take your time, get your hits in, do what you can for your skill level and at your comfort, and just try to finish this battle.
Yeah. We're gonna see Timp trying to get in, sneak in. They are taking tons of damage from the little fire bats. And sniped, but this is their fairy. They have another chance. Chat correcting me, I can't math. I'm only an accountant for my day job, but I just use a calculator.
It's a lot of spins. That's the answer. A lot of spins.
It's enough spins that it'll make you dizzy if you do it with the baseball bat over your head.
But these are all things, you know, we talk about how practice is important. You know, you are always going to fight Ganon unless you're doing some crazy Mystery Seed, you know, Triforce on thing. So, you know, Master Sword, Silverless, with silvers, without the lamp, you know, tempered, butter sword. You got to try them all at least once before you go into races, so that, you know, you don't show up and then be like, whoa, this is new.
Yeah.
It'll really help you out.
Timp finally through phase 2. They're on to phase 3, trying to get their 4 hits in. Yeah, oh, they have 2 fairies, so they have 1 more fairy, so they're not quite in mortal peril here. But their margin is decreasing as we see Lumaga enter TR and die yet again. Time for his fairy. Lumaga is clawing back tons of time with their sword advantage, and they're also doing what I like to call Stalfos routing. Although it won't matter because the big key is on this side. What am I talking about? So he would claw back some time with it. This would be the correct thing to do. I like this kind of routing. It gets you, I believe, was it like about 11 to 13 checks very quickly?
So, I mean, it's not over yet, right? Temp, dangerous health levels, you know, taking a hug from Ganon. This is his only magic. This is no reserves. This is it. So, you know, any fall or any death, there's a legitimate chance for Lumaga to catch up if anything happens with Temp's side.
But it looks like now that Timp is in the rhythm, as long as he keeps it going, he'll get the remainder of his spins in and spin to win. So let's see. It only takes 1 mistake in some rando seeds, or 12, but... Chat pointing out saying, yes, that is 12. I mean, 11 even. Gosh, I'm even having trouble reading now.
Either way, this is a great race. Like, just the crazy stuff that's been happening. And the runners continuing to keep going, no matter how many deaths they've had or weird twists in the path.
Yeah. I was going to say, this has been an endurance seed. No way to put it. We see Lumaga charging through the gauntlet. They are clawing back a ton of time. Probably not going to be enough because Timp is probably almost done with spins. And there it is. As long as Timp does not step off the ladder, they will be going to brackets. and get your GGs in, or they will be going on to brackets here with a race time of 1:58.10.
GG's. What a race.
Unbelievable. Just... It'll be very fascinating to talk to Timp when they get in here, to talk about their mental state through the seed. And we are joined by Timp, the winner of the race and going on to brackets. GG's.
GG, Timp.
Congratulations, the comeback is complete.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the GG's, and GG's to my good friend Lumaga.
Yeah, as we see Lumaga finishing off Lamos here. I was going to say Moltorm. Man, now I can't even talk either. The worm things.
The wormy boys. So talk to us about your mental state in Mire there. What were you feeling taking on that scary Vidi fight?
Well, the first time I think I went to Misery Mire, or I went to the Mire shed and I checked it, and my intention was to go from there immediately into Mire. But I thought about it and I was like, no, no, just no. I took a look at my equipment, was like, I don't think this is a good idea. And I went around and did something else. I think I found another sword, and I was like, okay, I'm feeling better about this. And then, made my way through it, eventually made my way to Vidi. I guess I dropped the spooky at some point, but whatever. And I made my way to Vidi, set up for my my button mashing strat. And then, of course, as you saw, that's comedy, right? Like I'm like, all right, let's go. And then immediately the very first eye hits me and kills me. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So to answer your question about my mental state, I was like, well, let's just, the salty run back, let's go. And I just ran right back there and took care of business, and then demonstrated the strat that I meant to do the first time. So despite that being bad, I wasn't too thrown off by it.
If you're going to die in a Vidi fight, the first eye is probably the best time to do that.
So true. I didn't waste a bunch of time, dancing around just to get, creamed by a lightning bolt at the last minute.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's what happened to Lumaga, actually.
Oh, no. Fight. That definitely happened to me at another point during these groups. I cannot remember the exact race, but yeah, very, very long Vitreous fight just to die at the end of it. There's nothing worse.
We loved your hammer strat in phase 2. That was just like pure bloodlust and vengeance.
Yeah, it was definitely, I felt the vengeance in that moment as well. I was like, I got into a good rhythm and I was like, man, this feels good after what you put me through.
So the vengeance was real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I know that timing, if you get it just right in between the bounces, you can get a perfect rhythm and just like smash it with the hammer over and over. I don't always get it, but I got it for a good, 5 or 6 in a row, and that was feeling real nice.
So we talked a lot about practice and the importance of practicing hard modes and all, cold stare fights, low percentage. When was the last time you played a Master Sword Silverless Ganon practice or seed?
Oh gosh, well, it definitely would have been a seed. I cannot remember the last time I practiced it, but Master Sword Silverless was the very first thing that I ever practiced at all with Rando. It was the first time I ever fired up the prac hack way back in 2018 was to do Master Sword Silverless, and I kind of drilled it then. So even though I don't necessarily practice as much as I should, I do feel like I built myself a good kind of foundation, especially the Master Sword spins in phase 4 of not playing it more safe than sorry, getting the rhythm down. So yeah, it's been a while, but I just went in and did my thing, I guess.
Right now we're seeing Lumaga take on Aga. I mean, I'm sorry, goodness, we both can't talk anymore. The seed has fried our brains. Ganon in phase 2. Sorry, as we see this.
Tim, how are you feeling when you realized you ran out of arrows in Ganon's tower?
I mean, it wasn't really a realization. It was more of I was watching them slowly tick down and being like, okay, oh boy. And then I started to walk that way thinking like that there were some arrows that would bail me out, but I was forgetting that I had to get through another door until I got to those bailed out, arrows. So
Sure.
I just calmly, mirrored out and got my shovel out and went to work. And, I definitely had to dig quite a bit, but eventually, got the 5 I needed and went on my way. Was there another place I should have gone? Because I'm never quite sure about that. Is there like a better arrow pickup right there?
Well, there was the torch.
Oh yeah! Oh man! Dang, I forgot about that. That sucks. Oh well.
Didn't get you this time. Never punished.
Never punished. That's me. Except for the 3 races that I dropped.
Yeah, but you know what? As we see GG's to Lumaga as they're finishing their fight here against Ganon, coming in with a race time, as I gotta scroll up a little bit here. And we are joined by Lumaga, getting a race time finish of 2:03.56. Good game.
Thank you.
GG.
So Lumaga, the first thing we got to do is congratulate you on the best looking hammer yump done by a person who learned it 20 minutes before the race. So congratulations on that.
I don't know if it was quite 20 minutes, but it was pretty recent. Yeah. But thank you to Tylersalt for helping me through that.
We were talking all throughout the seed as we were hyping up the Mentor tournament. It's, no matter where you're at in your racing journey, you're always learning new stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot I can learn out of this one. So I want to ask, like, how badly did that Vitreous death put me behind?
Not very,
Okay.
because Timp died there too. He just happened to die at the beginning of the fight and not the end of it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, I figured I took a death. I haven't gotten any items. Let me clear as much as I can, but I knew I had to skip something and save some time. So I was afraid this whole time. Mirror was in cutscene chest and the big key chest, and Timp was blowing me out of the water. But we actually finished, I don't know, within 5 minutes of each other. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of the big turning points was after finding the boots in Ice Palace, which you both were just maybe a half a dungeon apart. Timp went and did the boots checks and found the flute right away. You went to the mountain, Lumaga, and then you were doing stuff. So you were a little bit off track on that sense, which put you a little bit behind. And then the big one was Timp found the Turtle Rock big key on Catfish near the end, and you got kind of stuck on the seed led you astray with that Thieves Town big key.
Big time, yeah.
And everything. But you did find silvers in a sword, which was kind of cool to have.
Yeah, if I had gone to Catfish a lot sooner, I could have probably skipped all of Thieves Town or at the back of Thieves Town, but getting weapons somewhere was nice. I forget where I got them, though.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't want to say got lucky necessarily, but going, to check those boots checks, a big part of that was giving myself an opportunity to route in Potion Shop. That's kind of like the only reason I did it, was to give myself a little bit of a safety. So when I saw Flute pop up, I was like, oh wow, it almost looks like I, was God braining this, that like this is going to be up here, but it was purely just like on the way to something that I needed to help me not die.
I want to also ask you guys about your opening routes, because you guys did a little bit of non-traditional opening. Funny enough, you neither of you went to Kakariko kind of in the natural progression of things. What were you guys thinking way at the beginning, and what your strategy was there? If you guys remember that 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
2 hours ago.
Yeah, I do remember. I had no money, no bombs, and I figured I'm going to get there eventually. I found a shovel. I can take the south entrance in. So that's kind of why I went to Mini Moldorm first, and then I made my way to CAC.
I seem to recall what I did was fairly standard. I normally do Sank, tree pool, bush crab, all the checks up there. If bombs don't turn up, go back to Tim's house. Go back to Link's house, and go west from there. Try to get 2 bombs. I got 2 bombs, and something weird happened where I accidentally wasted one of them. I don't know exactly what that was, so I ended up having to buy bombs, which I was a little concerned about because then I couldn't get the merchant item. But I caught up eventually and ended up being that big of a deal. But I don't know exactly what happened. I'll have to go back and watch that. But the bomb got like caught on the wall or something, and I ended up wasting it.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I think it's an interesting divergence from. I mean, you're right. Like, there is a standard that a lot of racers will do. A lot of racers will also just look around like well and blindside hoping for money. I think you guys had 50 rupees, but it was interesting because you both did it. And throughout the whole seed, you both kind of did the same thing. Like, you guys have played enough against each other that you're very similar runners. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I almost thought it was just a joke of, oh, we're just gonna do CAC skip this seed, like gentleman's agreement, no CAC.
The only gentleman's agreement that we made was what we were going to name our files, and as you can see, it wasn't even all that creative. So,
Aww.
We just I think the plan for both of us was just to do our best and race as hard as we could, and I definitely did that.
Yeah, and however it ended, I was thinking about this. Tim's a good buddy of mine, so I want to beat him, but I don't want to see him lose, and kind of want to see him go far now. So, Tim, good luck in the rest of the tournament.
Oh, thank you very much. And honestly, I felt the exact same way. If I would say about 2/3 of the way through the seed, I was like, if Lumaga, pops up and I see him done before me, I don't even think I'll be upset the way I normally am when I lose, because I feel like I've raced a decent seed. Obviously there were some deaths and some setbacks and some mistakes and things, but I was like, I feel like I've played fairly well. And like you said, you're a good friend of mine, and I'd love to see, if anybody had to beat me and move on, I would have wanted it to be you. So
I feel the same way.
Super fun to, that fate kind of brought us together to race, because we've been friends for such a long time. And this was like for all the marbles and official kind of setting. It's just funny how that works out sometimes.
Well, I feel a nice virtual hug occurring right now.
Yep.
So, well, Lumaga, I mean, if there is good news, I know you're hard at work with the mentor tournament. This is the Go Mode Podcast Twitch channel. Is there anything you want to, we've been hyping it all night, but is there anything you want to tell the folks about the mentor tournament?
Well, if you guys have been hyping it, I don't know if there's much more that I could hype, but I definitely encourage anybody who's, new or not very confident in their ability to try it out. Join us in the Discord, sign up, and in less than 2 weeks, we're going to close these submissions, the signups, and then we'll make an announcement on who we feel probably gets the most benefit out of this and makes it a fair enough competition. And if you're already really good at the game, we're going to need a lot of mentors to guide our newer runners. So class of 2022 is coming up.
Absolutely. It's time for the class of 2021 to step up. I've seen a lot of folks who were in the mentor tournament last year that have been kind of waffling like, oh, am I good enough to mentor? Should I mentor? And I can safely say to every single one of them, the answer is a resounding yes, even if you don't feel like you're good. First of all, I would say across the board, you're all better than you think you are. And second of all, it doesn't necessarily take someone who's great at the game to make a great mentor. I would say even someone who is of equal skill to the person they're mentoring can still provide a ton of value simply by virtue of not having to play the game. Just being able to sit back and look, more holistically at the route and what's available and think a little bit more about strategy and, help remind the runner of, oh, by the way, don't skip Hera now that you're up on mountain, like I did. So I hope that I see a lot of the 2021 racers coming out to pay it forward and mentor for the class of 2022. But either way, like Lumaga said, we're very excited. And like our comms have said, very, very excited for this. And there is reason to hype it up because it's a very hype event.
And we also mentioned, this is a good opportunity to learn how to restream, how to commentate, track, just be part of the production. Whether you want to race or not, you can be part of this crew. And I know you'll hear a lot from Lumaga about that in the future too. So come on out.
Yeah, we're excited. I'm excited. I put my hat in the ring to mentor, there's lots of things you can teach, even if you don't think your execution is amazing. I mean, just teaching a new runner routing is just going to cut their times down from 5 hours to 2.5, just like that.
That's right.
Anything else for the runners before we get out of here?
I'm gonna go, I think, grab a celebratory beer now.
Nice. I can't wait to see you in brackets. It's going to be exciting.
Same.
Both of you, actually, right?
Josh and I, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, coming out of Group E is you two.
Group
yeah.
I'll be
E
there
for
too, but
egads,
it's fine.
inverted keys.
Oh,
Josh
God, don't remind me.
completely wiped the floor with both of us, Tim.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say it all seed until now how I totally dog walked you up and down Hyrule both times. No, I'm kidding. It was close races, all of them. You know, like, anyone in our group could have come out of that. I mean, even Yoinker's wife took some wins, and you know, our group had 96% chaos rating at one point. Like,
I know.
what a
That was a mess.
competitive group we had. Like, I couldn't have asked for it to go any other way. You know, I thought at best maybe I'd go 3-3, and well, we almost all did go 3-3.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for putting this on, everybody.
Yeah, well, thank you and Tim for being here. It was a blast. You know, this was quite the race.
Thank
Awesome.
you very much.
GG, everybody. And thanks, everybody, for watching. On behalf of Amarith, our Restreamer, Jinxie Girl, was that right? Sorry, who's our tracker?
Yeah,
Yes.
Jinxie Girl and
Jinxie Girl
Amarith, yeah.
and Amarith. Thanks to you both for helping us out and making sure everything's working. You bailed us out quite a bit tonight, just trying to keep us on target with what's going on. Thanks to our runners, and of course, thanks Josh Bittner for your co-commentary. There's still a lot of Challenge Cup action out there. Again, the Mentor Tournament, of course, join that. But what we're going to do next is we're going to raid Lana Bean, who's practicing some inverted keys. So any last words here, Josh, before we head out?
Nope, just thanks for having us. Thanks for watching. We had a great time. Looking forward to watching more Challenge Cup main tournament and mentor tournament. So we'll see you all, and let's go say hello to Lana Bean as they practice the cursed mode.
Have a great night, everybody.